It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning, South Africa, and welcome to the Expresso kitchen on a Wednesday, which means it must be the Culinary Hotline bling. I said it's a Culinary Hotline bling. That's a little better. That's a little better. Welcome to the kitchen. I have a very special guest in the kitchen with me today who is about to take us on a culinary journey. It is someone who tells stories through food. My kind of person. Khanyisa, Malabi, welcome to the kitchen. I think you need a round of applause, okay? Can I just say, for the past few months, I've just been hearing your name everywhere, and then I see this beautiful cookbook, which honestly, one of the most beautiful, not just cookbooks, books I've seen in a very long time. That needs to be on every South African home, on the coffee table. It's amazing. Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you.
I am so excited to meet you. This is amazing. Very excited. You're cooking some delicious stuff. We're starting off with breakfast this morning.
Yes.
Please tell us what we've been making.
We're going to start with my one of my signature dishes, inspired by my Scandinavian living, which is a salmon dish. So it's a breakfast dish. It's under the recipe dinner, breakfast for two. So that breakfast meal to impress.
And if you're starting the day on the best foot forward and you're having that one-on-one, life can only just get better. Let's do a swap. You can come to the side of here. I'm very excited. Breakfast for two. So I see we've got some salmon you spoke about, Norwegian salmon.
Yes.
We've got some poached eggs, so it's giving all the breakfast vibes.
Yes.
Where do we begin?
So firstly, we have marinated the salmon and soaked it in lemon overnight so that it almost cooked, fully cooked. So we're going to start with that.
I am your sous chef today. You tell me what you need. And
you can just
cool. So are we chopping this up?
Yes, we have to check.
Perfect. And I like the idea of kind of marinating the fish in, or fish in general, marinating it in an acid. The texture changes so much.
Yes.
It becomes nice and firm. But the flavor also elevates, because we know adding acid to food brightens everything. So I love this idea. Also, thinking about it now, people that are not really caught on yet to raw fish or smoked fish or cured fish, this is great, because that's like that middle, you still got that smoky flavor, all that texture, but it's been cured, it's been cooked already.
Absolutely.
So I love that. So I'll give this a chop, and then salmon being chopped. Am I doing the right thing?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
You're doing just fine.
What is next? Salmon chopped, ready to go.
Okay, and then, yes, we take in our salmon.
So give it a good mix, and that's some cream cheese.
Let me give you a tip. You can take it back.
Please,
Yes.
Put it back. Okay, yes,
Take it
I'm
back.
ready for, I love the tips.
Take your cream cheese and almost with a knife spread it
Oh,
together.
I need a demonstration. Please show me. South Africa, if you have any questions this morning, please give us send us a WhatsApp, a voice note, words. That number is 0634088863. Send us your voice notes if you have any culinary questions for Khanyisa or myself. Here's the demonstration. Okay, so you kind of like, almost like we do with garlic, you kind of like just, oh, who needs a food processor with this method? And it's nice and chunky.
Yeah, you know, most of my cooking is from home, so you learn all these hacks from mothers and grandmothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where they never use much food processors and all that.
And their food, and I was putting it out there, their food tasted pretty amazing, better than some restaurant chefs. And I think it's that manual labor of love that goes into the food. I love it. But talking about this book, which is for me a serious labor of love.
It is.
We're all foodies, and like, who's not a foodie? But where did the motivation and inspiration come from to take your journeys, your travels, and your experiences with food and put it into a book?
The inspiration says who I am. On one hand, I'm traditional. I miss my mother's cooking. I miss my grandmother's cooking. I'm traditional. I am nostalgic, but modern and Epicurean at the same time. There's an element of me being creative, emotional. There was a big feeling to this. I wouldn't have been able to create something like this without the emotion. But there's also a very traditional element to it of the storyteller, which is Garengani, or Garengani, in my language, is a narrator who was telling stories those days. I am the storyteller, and I love to inspire.
Oh, you are inspired. I've got goosebumps. That's so poetic. That's amazing. Wow. For a second, I forgot we were live on TV and I was just lost in that conversation. I love that story. And I like where the inspiration comes from. And I feel like as South Africans, as Africans, we are so proud of our heritage now, and we're taking it abroad, and we're taking our flavors and our culture abroad, and we're coming back with a little bit of the world as well. And somehow that's adapting into this new cuisine, which, like you said, has so much homage to like, culture, to nostalgia, and then it also expresses the version of yourself, which
Absolutely.
has been around the world. Are we talking or are we cooking? Okay, so let's do this.
You go back.
That looks beautiful. We've got some hot cross buns. Love that. We're gonna wrap up this dish and put it all together. Let's do that. So you got your buns. What's next?
Okay, I think then we can go with the poached eggs.
And I love this hack that you can actually poach your eggs ahead of time. That saves so
Yes.
much time.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm gonna pop this into the. Okay, let me use your board. You need some tomatoes from me.
Okay, you can finish off the assembling by putting everything. Your
Together.
dill, your capers.
Do you want to start building that up for me so long, and then I'll meet you with the tomatoes?
No problem.
It's such a delicate dish, and also with the seasons changing, I feel like it's light enough, flavorsome enough to be breakfast or brunch. I love this dish.
It's a brilliant brunch, breakfast or brunch, I agree with you.
There we go. That's going to chop those up for you. Very, it's very, like I said, very delicate flavor, delicate ingredients, but they deliver big flavor, which I feel like breakfast is all about that, and a little bit of a fizz, you know, to go with it. This is that dish.
Okay, can Maya?
Yes, please, please, please. Love your style of cooking. There we go. Okay, got some extra tomatoes for you.
Okay.
I'll give those a mix, and then we can start assembling.
Okay.
Cool. Love this trick, love
You're
this
doing well, you're doing well.
There we go. Cool. Can I take the buns out for you, Salon?
Yes.
Here we go.
So the salmon is almost done. So the tomato is a different mix. So we're gonna put your tomatoes and all the ingredients here.
Okay, cool. Let me do that for you.
Okay.
I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. There we go. And all these elements are things you can do ahead of time, what I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So let me get your knife. The tomatoes go in with the onion. There we go. We can, at home, do more tomatoes. Don't be like
Yeah.
me, do more tomatoes. And then are we giving this just a little simple mix?
Yes, you can mix all the elements, a bit of chili,
Bit of chili.
a bit of oil.
Oh, and I see this looks like an apricot jam.
Yes.
There we go. Does that join this mix?
Yes, just a touch.
Cool.
Just a touch.
Now, South Africa, we're going to be back in it a little bit. You're going to see how we put this beautiful breakfast for two together, so don't go anywhere. And don't forget to send us those voice notes. We'll be back with more Culinary Hotline Bling!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling! Now, we've already made you breakfast, but Khanyisa promising something that is so delicious, so comforting, something that might seem like the simplest thing in the world, bread, but it's the best thing in the world. Now, again, don't forget to please send us your voice notes to that number, 063-408-8863. The bread smells are getting me in my soul. This looks very special. What are we making?
There's nothing like the aroma of fresh baked bread. Who will say no to that?
Who will say, I think bread and freshly printed money. The same. The same.
Same group.
It's the same group. All right, let's talk about this. So let's start off with our dough. So I'm in front of the dough. You can talk to me, the ingredients.
Okay, we start with the... Oh, sorry, you're the sous
No,
chef.
no, no, you must tell me what to do.
Okay,
So, we got...
so let's start with the flour. Let's just throw it on the top so that we can be able to mix nicely.
I also like when the way that you're working is very important because bread, I feel like, yes, there's skill, but there's also that human element, which
Absolutely.
is the feel.
The feel is important.
Feel.
Yeah,
All right, so we got your flour
yeah,
there.
and you can make your well. And
Little
just,
well.
Yeah.
Gotta take off the ring. Here we go.
And let's start with the yeast. And Because the schooling is, I didn't go to a culinary school. There's a lot of Africanness in it. Sometimes we mix the yeast first or the salt first, so there is no process. Just put in all your ingredients, and we're gonna end with the milk, buttermilk and egg.
Sure thing. So do we actually beat the egg into the buttermilk? Or
Yeah, just
gooi it in?
Gooi everything.
I like it, I like it.
2 tablespoons of sugar will be enough.
2 tablespoons of sugar, and
Yeah.
we're in 1. Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Cool, and then salt, very important.
Yeah, salt very important.
And then I'm gonna grab a fork.
Okay.
Cool, so all I'm doing now is breaking this up, and we're gonna start like, almost like we make pasta, when we bring it in together.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
You comfortable to work with your hands?
I am, you know what? You are so right.
Yeah.
Yes, so we bring it all
There we
together,
go. Yeah.
and then start working that dough
Start
in.
working the
I'm
dough
gonna
in.
Make the wall a little bigger.
Yeah.
And that's, I can see that's not milk, that's buttermilk, right?
That's buttermilk. Could
No,
use
no.
some inkomazi as well.
Yes, please. Okay, you can start adding.
Buttermilk gives us that beautiful richness of texture in the bread. Yeah.
And I think buttermilk is one of the most underutilized dairy ingredients. I love buttermilk for marinating, aiding for like tenderness
Absolutely.
and flavor.
Absolutely. Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Some oil there.
Here we go. I'm gonna need your help now.
Of course.
So all we're doing is working with the dough, bringing it into a dough ball. And again, the fact that we're working with our hands.
Lovely.
Because it's
You're
also
doing
quite...
well.
Thank you. Thank you. So what advice do you have for budding cooks, chefs out there that are looking to have their own cookbook? Like, what is that process like? Are there challenges? Like, what is it all about? I have no idea, by the way, so I'm legitimately asking.
So when my son was about 8 years old, said to me, what is it that you enjoy, Ma? What is it that makes you wake up in the morning and say, I'm happy?
Oh.
And I said, I want to be a doctor of something. And he said, you should try and do something that you enjoy, like cooking. And I said, but cooking doesn't bring money. He said, the point is that it is your gift. You are happier when you talk about food. So if you want to make an impact, have your name in books and restaurants. So I must have listened. I think everybody is born with that, a gift inside. Like Lady Gaga says, we have that shining star inside us that is waiting to be unleashed. So you've got to feel that,
You do.
that need, because it's doable. You start with 10 recipes, and
There we go.
There we
It's
go.
so inspiring, and absolutely love the story. And how old was your son when you asked you that question?
he was 8. He's 18 now.
8 years old and asking such big questions. That's also testimony to you that you raised such a strong, wise man. Well
Well,
done.
he's an author himself now.
Oh, 18 years old and an author. I love that. Okay, so we've got our beautiful dough.
Okay.
And now I've made a little bit of a mess, but that's part of the process.
Yeah.
So we've got that dough that's prepared in front of you over there. After the resting, looks
Yes.
like that. So I'm going to ask you if you can take over for a second. I'm going to go wash my hands. There we go. And then let's talk. I'm talking from the base, and that's fine. Let's talk about let's talk about chefs and cooks. I love the fact that you mentioned you weren't trained in a culinary school. And I feel like that's where a lot of your culture comes through in the cuisine, because you haven't been taught any other way besides what your family's taught you. What advice do you have for young cooks out there looking to turn this into a career?
The beauty, I think, for chefs now, unlike in the past, is that opportunity is there, you know, everywhere. So you've got to trust it again. But I think what is important is that, you know, not many like me who didn't go to a school would be able to crack it. It's very important to go and learn the tricks, and then you can free yourself.
I like that. And knowledge is golden, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We have a voice note from one of the viewers. Let's have a listen and hear what they have to ask. I promise you we have a voice note. I swear. It's coming. Okay, you know what? It'll be in a second. We're rolling out the dough, and I see we've got some ingredients that we wouldn't normally see with bread, maybe on top of bread, but this is going inside. We've got Parma ham, sun-dried tomatoes, and then is that just cream cheese?
I think one note before we continue is the importance of making sure that we knead the dough at least for 10 minutes and allow it to proof for 2 hours before we come to the next step.
Right.
Yes.
And the 2 hours of resting is not just to get lift and body in your bread.
It's flavor.
Flavor.
Build up. It is.
Salute. Now, like promised, we have that voice note. Let's have a listen.
Good morning, Expresso. I just wanted to find out, can you make a gluten-free option of this bread?
Can I have this one? Can you tag me in, tag me in, tag me in? Yes, you can! And it's as easy as going to Woolies. You'll find so many gluten-based flour alternatives. You could use rice flour, you could use almond flour, but the gluten-free flour from Woolies is phenomenal. And for the purpose of this dish right here, absolutely. And go and check that out. Lactose-free versions, gluten-free versions. There's quite a lot of options available for you, especially if you're baking nowadays, so you're not stuck. Love that. Okay, so that we've rested the dough, rolled out beautifully. The cream cheese, is it cream cheese or is that creme fraiche?
That is cream cheese. What we do with the ingredients is more or less taking a simple dough and bread and turning it into a meal, but also because it's a farm bread. So there is a bit of subtle a drama to it. So
The drama.
Yeah, a bit of cream cheese.
Awesome, so that goes in. I'm gonna actually go to the bread to show you what happens. So we're gonna put that cream cheese in, the parmesan goes in, sun-dried tomatoes, don't look at my hands covered in dough. And then once it bakes, I love the drama. You said drama, and
Love
this is
drama.
dramatic, it's beautiful. It's so inviting. You can't look at that and go, that's not gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna quickly just slice into it, very quickly, because I want you to see the inside.
The reveal.
The
You're ready for the
reveal.
reveal.
There we go. So let me get my board and my... Oh, it's still warm. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, so that's all that beautiful sun-dried tomato, the parmesan. You can smell the parmesan so beautifully in this bread.
Amazing.
I deserve a small taste, right? Khanyisa has been absolutely amazing. And she's so amazing. Khanyisa is actually going to be giving away one of her books. So if you'd like a chance to win this beautiful, beautiful book, all you have to do is go to the Facebook Expresso page on this competition and let us know, what's your favorite nostalgic food memory that takes you back home instantly? Khanyisa, these aren't my food memories, but now they're mine. Like after today, they're absolutely mine. Thank you so much for joining us in the kitchen. There we go, South Africa. We'll be back next week with more Culinary Hotline Bling.
Thank you.